Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in this video, we are going to study about concentration cell. Okay, how exactly the concentration cell is formed and what are the reaction taking place over there. That we are going to study. Okay, so before going to the definition, first we'll see this diagram. I hope you can see the diagram clearly, and if you observe it carefully, we can see here that two electrodes, the anode electrode and the cathode electrode, are made up of same material, that is copper. So by using copper metal, that is copper electrode on anode side, and even in the cathode side you have copper electrode. So same electrode has been used here, and you can see here these two electrodes are dipped in the solution of copper sulfate itself. So here you can see this is copper sulfate, and here also this is copper sulfate. Okay, but the thing you can notice here, that is this copper sulfate is having the concentration C1, and this copper sulfate having the concentration of C2. So that means this figure itself, it is telling that your copper electrode at the both the side has dipped in the same solution but at different concentrations. So here the concentration is C1 and here the concentration of C2. So that indicates here you have same electrode has dipped in the same solution, but the concentrations are different in anode and cathode. So that is nothing but your concentration cell. So now how you can define that concentration cell? You can see here the concentration cell is an electrochemical cell, okay, in which electrode material and solution in both half cell are composed of same substance, as I told. So this is copper and this is copper, and both have dipped in the same solution, that is copper sulfate, but only the concentration of two solutions are different. As I said, that is it is having C1 concentration and it is having C2 concentration, and the salt bridge gives you the internal connection between these two half cells. Okay, so this is nothing but the concentration cell. So here the only concentration things are going to matter. Okay, and one more thing, that the electrode here in this anode electrode, it is having lesser concentration, which is C1. Okay, and this is having higher concentration C2. That's why you can categorize here, that is the electrode with a lesser concentration of the metal ion, that acts as the anode, and the electrode which is having higher concentration of the metal ion, that can be acting as a cathode. So this will be anode and this will be cathode. So this is the concentration cell. Okay, and always remember the C1 concentration is lesser than the C2. Okay, that's what it is acting as a cathode. Sorry, C1 is acting as anode and C2 cathode. Okay, now how we are going to represent the cell? So very simple way, C1. So C1 concentration is at anode, right? So you write Cu first, that is the metal electrode which is in solid state, and then it is in contact with copper sulfate solution whose concentration is C1, and two vertical lines are nothing but that is salt bridge, that represents salt bridge, and then it is again in contact with CuSO4 with a concentration of C2, and that in terms it is contact with another electrode, that is copper, which is in solid state. So this is the cell representation. Now we are going to study the electrode reactions. What exactly reactions are taking place in that concentration cell? Okay, as you know, at anode oxidation takes place, right? So now oxidation means loss of electron. Your metal is undergoing oxidation to form metal ions. Okay, so this metal, the copper metal, is forming metal ion by losing two electrons. This is a simple reaction of oxidation, and this metal ion, copper metal ion, that is having the concentration of C1. Okay, now come to the second half cell, that is at cathode. Reduction takes place. Reduction itself, it is the conversion of metal ion to the metal, right? So by gaining electron it takes place. So now you have metal ion Cu2 plus with whose concentration is C2. So that is going to gain two electrons which are lost at the anode side. So these two electrons. Okay, and that is converting as a copper metal. So now to write overall reaction or net reaction, so this copper from solid, copper solid, so that you can cancel from reactant and product side, and here two electrons also common at both sides, so you can cancel that terms, and you left with Cu2 plus C2 to Cu2 plus C1. So this overall reaction indicates your concentration is moving from higher concentration to the lower concentration. I mean to say that reaction is proceeding from C2 to C1. So the direction from cathode to anode. So this is the net overall reaction. Now how you can write the EMF expression. Okay, so EMF of the above cell can be given as you know, when two electrodes has been used, you are supposed to find E cell of the electrochemical cell, that is by E cathode minus E anode. Okay, so as you know, E, that is potential, is given by E naught plus 2.30 E naught minus 2.303 RT divided by NF log of product divided by reactant, right? Now with respect to cathode, what you can write, E naught of copper, that is standard electrode potential of copper, plus 0.303 RT divided by NF log copper concentration, copper metal ion concentration at the cathode. See here, I have directly taken, actually in the Nernst equation you will be having 1 by metal ion concentration, that is 1 by Cu2 plus concentration. So that Cu2 plus in denominator, so when it moves to the numerator, that carries minus sign, and that minus and this minus will be positive. So directly I have written, please note this thing, directly I have written E naught Cu plus 2.303 RT divided by NF log metal ion concentration Cu2 plus 2 at cathode, and this minus as it is. Now you write the anode as same. Okay, E naught of copper plus 2.303 RT divided by NF log, so copper metal ion concentration with respect to anode there. Okay, so here you can note the changes that the concentration at cathode it is C2, and the concentration of anode that will be C1. So you can change that with the C1 and C2. Now even one more thing, that is E naught of the copper will be same for both the side. So this is in positive term and this is in negative term. So you can cancel each other, and now you left with 2.303 RT NF log of the cathode concentration is C2 and the anode concentration is C1. Okay, so this looks like log A minus log B. Okay, log A minus log B. Before that you can even simplify that, you can take that 2.303 RT divided by NF as a common. So you take it common, 2.303 RT divided by NF. Now you left with log C2 minus log C1. So that looks like a log A minus log B. So how you can write log A minus log B, that you know, that basic mathematical simplification of logarithm, that is log A minus log B can be written as log A by B. Okay, log A is here C2 and B is here C1. So you left with a final expression, that is E cell equal to 2.303 RT divided by NF log C2 divided by C1. So this is at standard temperature, that is 298 Kelvin. So this is the final expression for the concentration cell. So from this equation what you understand is these all are constant terms. So here you can add one more step, that R universal gas constant, you can substitute the value 8.314. T is standard temperature, room temperature 298 Kelvin, and even F you can substitute, that is Faraday's constant 96,500. If you substitute all those things, you are left with 0.0591 by N. Okay, so for this particular reaction you can take N equal to 2, but for general concentration cell reactions you can keep N as it is. Okay, and you left with log C2 divided by C1. So from this equation what you understand is the total EMF of the concentration cell is totally depending upon the concentrations, even it may be C1 or C2. Okay, So that is depending upon the concentration of that solution where you have dipped the electrodes. Okay, so this is the expression for E cell. Now some conclusions you can arrive from this concentration cell that we shall see now. Okay, so first one, if C1 equal to C2, then so from this equation you can see here, if C2 equal to C1 means C1 by C1 means you can cancel that terms and you left with log 1. Log 1 is 0. If this term is 0, then whole term will be 0. So that time E cell becomes equal to 0. E cell of equal to 0 means that indicates no current flows. So totally what it indicates is when the concentration is same, concentration of the solution is same on both the side, like anode and cathode, that time you don't have any current flow because no electrons are flowing. So as you know, the when your current is moving, like potential also flows from higher potential to lower potential. Even osmosis process you can consider, that is from higher concentration to lower concentration. Like that, when you have equal concentration at the both the side, then you don't have any movement of ions or movement of electrons, anything. Okay, that time when C1 equal to C2, then no current flows because of no electron movement. Okay, so this you have to remember. When the concentration changes, then only you can call that cell as a concentration cell. If the concentration is same, then electrode is same, the concentration is same, the solution is same, that time no current flows over there. Okay, so that is the first case. So in second case, if C2 is greater than C1, then as you know, this is the standard condition for this concentration cell. If C2 is greater means that C2 is acting as cathode and C1 is acting as anode, right? So if C2 is greater means that term will be positive. So this is actually C2 by C1. Okay, so if it is positive, then EMF of the cell will be positive. If EMF of the cell is positive, then you can say that the reaction is spontaneous. As you know already, I have told you what exactly the spontaneous process is. The process which is happening by its own, that is called as spontaneous. Even this E, it is indicating positive means that means the Gibbs free energy change will be negative. That is also even spontaneous reaction, and the reaction that is directed from C2 to C1. So this indicates C2 to C1. Okay, so third case, in the third case, the cell potential, if the cell potential is increasing with the increase in the ratio of C2 to C1, okay, so this cell potential increases with increase in the ratio of C2 by C1. So we'll see that by using examples. See in the first example, your cell reaction or the concentration, that is C2 divided by C1, increases from 0.001 to 0.01. That means 10 times. How you are getting this 10 time? You just do one thing, you divide that 0.01 divided by 10, then you will get 0.001. That means it is 10 times of that. Okay, if you increase that concentration from 0.001 to 0.01, then whatever the potential is there, that in that two-fold increment in the potential you can observe. That is nothing but I have written 2E. In short, 2E, that is two-fold increase in the potential. Okay, in second case, you see, if the concentration C2 divided by C1, it is increasing for 0.001 to 0.1, that means that is 100 times increment. So you just divide this thing, 0.1 divided by 100, if you do, you will get 0.001. Okay, so if you increase that concentration from 0.001 to 0.1, that is 100 times, then there is an increase in the potential, that is 3 times increase in the potential or threefold increase in the potential you can observe. Okay, so these are the some conclusions arrived from this concentration cell. When C1 equal to C2, then no current takes place. If C2 is greater, then the reaction is spontaneous, and if the concentration is changing 10 times, then you will be having EMF two-fold increase EMF. If it is 100 times increase, then threefold increment in the EMF. So these are some conclusions. So in this video we have studied what is concentration cell exactly, the definition and the diagram, cell representation, and the reaction involved in that concentration cell, and we have arrived at the EMF of the concentration cell and some conclusion we have studied. Okay, I hope you understood this concept about the concentration cell, and thank you so much.